To our amazement, Daniel informs us he has a son, Louis. Daniel has never married, and Dorothy and I sense scandal. Apparently, Daniel had a secret affair with a French girl soon after joining the army and arriving in France. The girl had a son to Daniel, but her parents refused to let her see Daniel, an enemy to France at that time, and they married her off to a wealthy old man. Daniel knew nothing of his child.
We're delighted but taken aback to hear of Daniel's teenage son, Louis. Louis's mother revealed the identity of his real father on her deathbed. Randolph and Sons, Paris, is well known in France, and Louis quickly located Daniel.
Grandfather Herbert has another grandson and will be so very happy. Uncle Daniel looks embarrassed about the circumstances, but I suspect it's the shock of learning he has a son. Oh, I can't wait to meet my new cousin Louis. Father has refused to let Mother and I travel with him on his upcoming visit to Paris, but this news will force him to take us. We must meet this new family member.
I can't wait to meet Daniel's son. August includes me in his trip to Paris. He's reluctant to take Dorothy and Eliza, but that gorgeous imp Eliza has worn her father down, and August's reluctantly agreed to take his wife and daughter.
Daniel's left to return to Paris. We'll follow him in 2 days. Daniel convinced me to book travel on one of the new ferries. Journeying with Father, Dorothy, and Eliza, and 4 servants won't be easy. Hopefully the ferry will simplify things.
I expect Daniel to greet us when we arrive in Calais, but Monsieur Blanchette's secretary, Monsieur Berger, rushes towards us when we leave customs. Yet again, Monsieur Blanchette is away on a family emergency and cannot greet us. Damn the man.
Monsieur Berger is flushed, agitated. He insists we visit an inn for refreshments before traveling further. Something is wrong, but the stubborn Frenchman refuses to share any news until we are all seated at a table with a flask of wine before us.
Eliza bubbles with excitement despite the discomfort in Monsieur Berger's demeanor. It's her first voyage. Her head is spinning, her eyes are popping. But Eliza's enthusiasm evaporates when Monsieur Berger delivers his bad tidings.
Like a heavy blow to my chest, Monsieur Berger delivers news of Daniel's death. My Daniel, my beloved boy, is lost, washed overboard during a storm on the ferry on his return journey to Paris. No, it just can't be.
I think it's a joke. Daniel's hiding, about to spring out and surprise us. But no, Monsieur Berger is firm. We've lost my brother. Daniel is dead. Strong, sensible Daniel is lost at sea. Impossible, but true. I can't breathe.
We have lost Daniel. Herbert and August sit numb with pain. The sea captain on duty when Daniel was washed overboard, Captain Andrew Duncan, arrives to convey his condolences. I asked Captain Duncan if there were any witnesses.
Daniel Randolph was my friend. We always spoke on his journeys across the channel. I answer Mrs. Randolph's question with a yes. There were 2 witnesses. A large, gruff man who was close to Daniel when he was washed overboard, and Daniel's friend who accompanied him. The friend, I tell the family, was overwhelmed with grief at Daniel's loss. There is more to tell, but Mr. Randolph Sr. angrily interrupts me.
I snap at Captain Duncan, telling him he's mistaken, and Daniel was alone. There was no friend. Daniel would have told us if he were traveling with someone. Daniel's loss is unbearable. Must we listen to false reports and assumptions?
I have inadvertently upset the Randolph family in their grief. I apologize and withdraw from their presence. I then stroll along the wharf, wondering why the Randolph family know nothing about Daniel's close friend and longtime companion, the Frenchman, Remy Granger. There is mystery here, and maybe some truth to Remy Granger's wild claim that Daniel's death was no accident. Remy Granger insists the other witness, the large, gruff man, murdered Daniel. Remy Granger claimed Daniel Randolph was thrown from the ferry by the first witness, a large, rough brute of a man. But I put Monsieur Granger's rant down to his grief. However, investigation into the brute and his companion reveals the names and addresses they gave are false. Maybe there is something to Monsieur Granger's claim. I spied a gold medallion on a chain around the brute's neck, which he hid the second he saw my glance. I don't know why, but something about the awful man reminds me of my Uncle Peter who drowned many years ago. Peter lived in Sangatte with his wife, Suzette. I will ride there tomorrow. Maybe seeing Peter's old cottage will jog a memory.
A stranger read through Sangatte and take the track to Peter Duncan's old cottage by the sea. He follow him and then remember him from Peter and Suzette's wedding. It is Peter Duncan's nephew, Andrew. Hear him whispering, recalling his uncle's drowning and Suzette's suicide, and he cry out, making him turn. Peter did not drown, he tell him, he was murdered by my nephew, Bastien Beau, Suzette's son by her first marriage. Suzette was my little sister.
A villager, Mathis, follows me to my Uncle Peter's abandoned cottage. Mathis says my uncle's death was no accident. He claims his nephew, Bastien Balt, murdered Peter. Mathis is one of Suzette's two brothers. The other brother, Hugo, says Mathis searched for Bastien to bring him back to Sangatte to be tried for Peter's murder, but Hugo never returned. Mathis is certain Bastien has killed Hugo also.
Andrew Duncan noticed the gold medallion around my neck and remember a passenger who wore an identical medallion. When I described this man he know he is my murdered nephew, Bastien Beau, and the medallion is where is Hugo's, taken from his dead body.
I am Antelope, renamed Mary. Watch for further episodes or read the complete saga of my incredible journey. Antelope by Marea Whitley. Available at Amazon and other online bookstores.